Hi, I'm Catherine Gladwyn. I'm the author of the #1 bestseller, How to Be a Virtual Assistant, as well as the book, The 20% Rule. As well as being a virtual assistant since late 2015, I'm also a virtual assistant mentor. So I help people just like you become successful virtual assistants. I have been hounded and hassled to the point of destruction to do this video on how to get over those confidence issues when you're first starting out as a virtual assistant. I know exactly how you feel. I mean, I come across really confident on social media, but I've been doing this quite a while now. I still get nervous, but I can also still remember how it feels in those early days to do anything, to contact potential clients, to put yourself on social media, to worry that you're never going to succeed as a virtual assistant, all of those things. And I'm going to try and reassure you in this video that you can do it, that the confidence thing is normal. You've got to live with it, but also ways to overcome those feelings as well. So I really hope this video helps. I run a group mentoring program. So as well as reflecting on my own experience when I started up as a virtual assistant, I've also asked my mentees what their first feelings of confidence issues are, because they're all, at the moment, they're all starting out as a virtual assistant. So it's really raw for them. So the first things I want to cover are the worry about what people will think. What are friends and family going to think of you starting out as a virtual assistant? Now, I was very, very lucky that I had the support of everybody around me. But I know that there are a few of you out there that have friends and family that come at you with real negativity, that it's not going to work. You're mad. You're mad to leave secure employment. Okay, let's tackle that thing first of all. Employment is not secure. Whether we've got a pandemic or whether we've got anything going on, a company can just dissolve at any time. In one of my books, I talk about Carillion. Do you remember Carillion in the UK? They were a massive employer. Turnover of what we would assume millions every year. And they collapsed. So many people not only lost their jobs that worked for Carillion, but also the companies that were supplying Carillion. They lost their income and they had to let people go as well. Employment is no more secure than self-employment. In fact, in my opinion, self-employment is more secure because you're in charge of it. You are responsible for it. You can completely control it. And my book, The 20% Rule, talks about that. So no one client should take up more than 20% of your time or your income. And that's something that I've not always worked by. I learned the hard way by losing clients. But if you stick to that rule, that no one client should take up more than 20% of your time or your income, you're going to be completely safe. Because if you lose one or two clients and they're not taking up too much time or income, then you're fine. You can find more clients. So this is what you can say to those friends and family members that come over to you and say, no, you need to stay in employment because it is much, much safer. It isn't. There's no guarantee of that at all. And also, I think some friends and family members think that the virtual assistant role is like multi-level marketing, and it's not. You don't buy into something. You don't have to buy products. You don't have to buy anything. You can learn how to be a virtual assistant just by Googling, just by watching videos. It will take you a lot longer than investing in something, because if you invest in something, yes, I sell a guide. If you invest in something, you've got all the information you need just in one place. But you can Google it. It can be overwhelming because a lot of the information is different, but you don't have to buy anything. Being a virtual assistant is so far away from multi-level marketing. I can't even find any comparison there. But some friends and family members do think it's that. What you also need to tell them is that there are I'm going to say millions of virtual assistants. I don't know if it's millions. I can't find that link between hundreds of thousands and a million, but there are so many virtual assistants that are earning 30, 35, and I have seen a lot of virtual assistants recently, it's April 22 when I'm filming this, that are charging £40 an hour. The hourly rate is going up. I run a group mentoring program, so as well as reflecting on my own experience when I started up as a virtual assistant and thinking about the confidence issues that I had, I also asked my mentees what confidence problems they've got as well, because they're all aspiring virtual assistants. They're all new to it, so it's really raw for them. So I'm going to be answering questions that are not only based on my experience, but on people that are in exactly the same position as you are now. So I really hope that we can get to the bottom of all of this, turn it all around, and make sure that those confidence issues are gone. Get rid of them. Now, if you've read my books, or if you have got my starter guide, or you've watched other videos that I've done, whether on YouTube or on TikTok, then you'll know that your first clients are more than likely going to be people that you already know, friends and family. But I also know that a lot of you are worried about telling friends and family because they can sometimes be less than supportive. I've got one of my mentees that, there's lots of us in this group mentoring program. And one of my mentees she's full of beans. She really wants to do this. She's going to do it. She's got the support of all of us in the mentoring group. It's phenomenal. She told her friends at the weekend and family that what she's doing, she had one bit of negativity and it completely knocked her. I don't understand. I get it too. Not the negativity, but you get the one knock or the one bit of nastiness, and it just floors you. You can have so much positivity, and then we get a little bit of negativity and we think, right, that's it, can't do it, it's all over. But what I've said to this lady and to all the other people that I mentor is ask yourself, or even ask the person, if you're brave enough, say, one, are you a virtual assistant? The answer is usually no. If they say, yes, I'm a virtual assistant, well, why do you think that I can't do it? Is it because you're not successful? Something they're doing wrong. Or secondly, ask them, or ask yourself, are you jealous? Are you jealous that I'm potentially going to be happier because I've shared with you how unhappy I am in employment? Because some people really do thrive on our unhappiness because it makes them feel better. And the prospect of you being happy, living your best life, earning money that you just couldn't earn as an employee, makes other people feel less than happy with their own lives. So as much as you might love this friend, you might love this family member, you suddenly see the real them and think, okay, so you've been supporting me all these years while I've been unhappy, but as soon as there's a little sniff of me being comfortable, confident, doing something out of a comfort zone, you're not quite as positive as you thought. Now, I'm not saying ditch them, but you will get people in your life when you start getting successful that you suddenly think, I don't really need you around because you're not really flowing with how my life works now. But it may just be an opportunity for you to think, okay, you're not happy, so maybe I need to change my friendship with you. I need to get on with what I want to do to make myself happy. And if that's being a virtual assistant, you go and do that. But I need to give you some time as well, some of my attention, to make sure that you're happy as well. You need to perhaps not talk to them about your VA journey, but they might need some extra help with their own mental health, finding their own happiness in life, things like that. You suddenly become aware that there are certain people you don't talk to things about because they bring you down. I know that's hard if they've been in your life a long time, but life is so short. You know that. Life really is so short. And if being a virtual assistant and having a fantastic working life is what you want to do, you need to just blinker out this negativity, think about something else to talk to these people about. And the trouble is, your friends and family will be one of your, I'm going to say that with confidence, will be one of your first clients. So you do need to tell friends and family, but you also need a way to ignore them if they come back to you with negativity, because they're wrong. This is achievable. I'm giving you this information for free. You don't need to invest in anything that I've ever produced or anything like that. So I'm not saying this to get money out of you. I'm saying this because it is true. You just need to wipe those people out or blinker them in some way so that you can go forward and realise your dream. We flick the bird to those that are negative. We See ya. The next thing that comes up quite a lot, I've got my notes there. The next thing that comes up quite a lot is, well, okay, so I'm going to be a virtual assistant, but I'll never get clients. You will. You will get clients. That I could spend a whole day talking to you about how to get clients. I've found a way to get clients. I've put it in my VA starter guide, and I've included templates in there. Okay, I can hear all the people saying, okay, you're gatekeeping information. Yeah, of course I'm gatekeeping information. As a virtual assistant, imagine you as a virtual assistant, you are not going to give potential clients your time for free to show them how to do the services that you're going to do for them, because otherwise you won't earn any money. But also there is a real psychology behind how you contact people to let them know that you're a virtual assistant, what you do, how much you charge, and asking them whether you want to work with them. You don't want to come across as salesy. You don't want to come across as spammy. You don't want to bore them. You want to get straight to the point and let them know what it is you do and how they can work with you. Now, my starter guide takes you through everything you need to do in order to promote yourself, find those clients, and convert those clients into paying clients, convert potential clients into paying clients. So you will get clients, absolutely. I'm not scrambling around for clients. I've been promoting myself so I started the VA journey in late 2015, and I started promoting myself to the wider public in 2016. And I've never had a problem getting clients. My templates work, the way I contact potential clients works. I've always been full. I've had a waiting list for a long time, which is why I had to take on associates. I'm nothing special at all. I've not got skills that you haven't got. I've not got a personality that you haven't got. You know, like anybody, I'm Marmite. Some people will want to work with me, some people won't. That's just the nature of the beast. You will get clients. I can't stress that enough. The virtual assistants that are getting clients are no different to you. They're only getting clients because they know how to market themselves. The virtual assistants that aren't getting clients because they don't know how to market themselves, or they're doing it incorrectly, or they're really rubbish at their job and nobody's recommending them. I've worked with ones like that. The virtual assistant market is too saturated. I hear that a lot. How will I get clients when there are so many other virtual assistants out there for people to choose from? Brilliant question. How do I get clients as a virtual assistant or as a virtual assistant mentor? Why do people come to me? Because they resonate with me. There are loads of other virtual assistant mentors out there. There are loads of other virtual assistants out there. People aren't coming to me because I'm superior, because I know it all. Nothing like that. It's because they can relate to me. So I'm 45 years old. I am a single parent. I'm in a relationship, but I am her only biological parent. There is a biological dad, but he's about as much use as a chocolate teapot. I've lost my train of thought now, hang on, back. I've got chronic health conditions, one of which affects my memory, which is why I go off on a tangent sometimes. I've got brain tumours. I don't take life too seriously. I like to have a laugh. I like to mess about. I like to have fun. I'm blunt, to the point. And some people love that. Other people can't stand it, and that's why some people come to me. Some people resonate with me. So my demographic are women between 35 and 55. They're drawn to me because they can relate to me. Most of them are parents. Most of them live in the UK. They're the ones that resonate with me. And people will resonate with you, which is why in your marketing, you need to always be yourself. Don't try and be somebody else, because otherwise you'll attract people that you just don't get on with. Like if I tried to be stuffy and corporate and talked about things that really don't interest me, I would attract people that don't interest me, and it would make work really hard work. But the people that are drawn to me are people that have read my website content, or they've read my social media posts, and they're like, yeah, she's talking to me. Yeah, I get her. I understand what she's saying. And they get drawn to me. There are other virtual assistant mentors that work completely differently to me. I couldn't work with them and they couldn't work with me because we're completely different. But people will want to work with you because of who you are. People do business with people, not just with what you sell. So people will want the services that you provide, but if they can't resonate with you, they won't want to work with you. Mistakes. Oh my God, what if you make a mistake? Well, if you make any mistakes as a virtual assistant with any of your clients, then you just got to close your business and give up, because no client is going to accept any mistake ever. I'm lying, obviously. I have made plenty of mistakes as a virtual assistant. And the hardest thing for me in life to do is say sorry. I hate saying sorry. If I ever, I dropped coffee on our brand new settee. Took me days to admit it. I tried to blame my daughter and she hadn't been home for a month. It was me, and it's really hard to accept it. As a virtual assistant, I'd love to say to you, yeah, I have never made a mistake, which is why I've got a waiting list of clients wanting to work with me. I've made plenty of mistakes. I made plenty of mistakes as a non-self-employed virtual assistant. You know, we all do it. What's the difference? You know, if you make a mistake as an employee, what's the difference to making a mistake as being self-employed? It still comes back on you. It's still you that's made the mistake. As an employee, I worked in the NHS, and this woman was, I can't even remember what it was about now, but she was a colleague that worked at the head office. And she was just being incredibly rude via email. She'd also been incredibly rude on the phone as well. And I was just at the end of my tether. And like I've said before, I'm blunt. So, but I knew that I probably couldn't speak to her in the way I wanted to. So I forwarded the email to my manager and said, can you sort this silly bitch out, because I am going to lose it with her. Press send, and I hadn't pressed forward, I'd pressed reply. So I forwarded or replied to the silly bitch, calling her a silly bitch. What do? Do you leg it? And you're noticing? I phoned her and I said, I'm ever so sorry. That wasn't intended for you, obviously. But I just thought you were being really rude and I'd come to the end of my tether. I wasn't sacked or anything like that. I'd owned it. And it's exactly the same thing if you're a self-employed virtual assistant. Just own it. I had bought one of my clients a train ticket to Birmingham. Now, there are 2 stations at Birmingham, and I'd bought the wrong one. I'd bought her a ticket. She wanted to travel first class, and I'd bought it non-refundable so that she could have it at a reduced rate. And I'd bought the wrong ticket. So I couldn't get a refund. So what do? Just send her off and then think, she can just get a taxi to where she needs to be. I owned it. I said to her, I've bought you the wrong ticket. I'm going to buy you a new ticket. And what I'm going to have to do is give you the money back myself and the difference in the ticket that I'd had to buy last minute because it cost more. It was quite a bit of money, but you got to do it. You've just got to own it. If I'd have sent her to the wrong station, she'd have had to have paid extra for a taxi to get her where she needed to be. She probably would have rightly been very annoyed with me and disappointed, and she may not have used me again. So, but as it was, she was fine with it because I'd rectified the problem. She was not out of pocket, and she did use me again plenty of times. In fact, I got rid of her because I went in for surgery. So we'd have still been working together now. We still interact on social media. You know, she gave me a wonderful testimonial for my website. Didn't mention the train tickets, thankfully. So it's just about owning it. If you make a mistake, own it. But also, the main thing is, and like I always say, is you should only offer services that you're confident and competent in. And if a client comes to you and says, I need this done, and it's something you haven't done before, tell them, or just say no. You know, you're not going to lose them as a client. You would lose them as a client if you try and do a service or a task that you've never done before and mess it up, potentially lose them as a client anyway. So just offer services that you're confident and competent in. that means you've done them in the past. You're going to be absolutely fine. Honestly. A couple of questions that my mentees put forward were, what if I'm not good enough? What if I am, let me read this. Yeah, it's what if I'm not good enough? That I may not be enough for my clients. Okay, again, you are offering services that you're confident and competent in, and they are asking you to do these services because they either can't, won't, or shouldn't be doing them. They're not giving them to you because they just fancy giving them to you, because they fancy spending 30 quid an hour just giving you work. They're not doing that. They're doing it because they can't do it, won't do it, or shouldn't be doing it because they're too busy, or they're incompetent doing it, or they just don't like doing it, so they're grateful for your time. And again, you are only offering services that you are confident and competent in. You need to think about yourself as being the expert. So I've got years of experience of being a VA, so I am confident and competent to give you advice to become a virtual assistant as well. You do get that imposter syndrome every so often, but the more you do something, the more confident you become. So you know that, you already know that. So it will be scary, first of all, when you take on your first clients. But if you hold back from doing this, you're never gonna get started. If you want to be a virtual assistant, you've just got to go for it. You will be scared when you hand over that piece of work, or you say, it's okay, I've cleared your inbox for you. And you'll be like, oh God, what are they going to say? What are they going to say? Is it wrong? Have I made a mistake? Who knows? If you've done your best, and I'm sure you will only ever do your best, there's nothing much more you can do. I used to say to my daughter when she was worried about going into exams and things like that, give 100%. There's nothing more you can do. You just got to do your best. And 9.9 times out of 10, what you're worrying about doesn't even happen. Like, when you're going to have a difficult conversation with somebody, perhaps a friend that you've previously fallen out with, or a family member that last time you saw them, they were drunk and you're really worried about seeing them again, or you were drunk perhaps, and you play the potential conversations over in your head. And then when you see this friend, family member, or whoever, it's never as bad as you think. I've had so many people that, as I've mentored over the years, that they've been like, oh, I'm really worried. I've given this piece of work to this client and I've not heard back from them. And I reckon it's because I've done a rubbish job and they're not going to want to work with me again. How about perhaps they're busy? They haven't got time to get back to you. And that's a good thing. If they're busy, that means they need more help in the future. It's never as bad as you think. And even if a client comes back to you and says, you've done a great job, but how about you do this as well next time? Okay, I hadn't thought of that. Brilliant. And you want to work with me again? That's great. Sometimes you do get clients that are never satisfied, but they're few and far between, honestly. And they're usually micromanagers, and I really recommend not working with people like that. But sometimes you don't find out that they're micromanagers until you've worked with them. You will get difficult clients. And do you know another thing that you get as well? So what was it I had recently? So I'm working with this corporate client that's got loads of MailChimp accounts. And the MailChimp is email marketing software, as I'm sure you know. And I need to get into their MailChimp account. So I'm a MailChimp partner. So all I need is the email address they use to log into these accounts. And the woman said to me, oh, we've got about 5 accounts and we use the same email address to access all of them. And I thought, well, I've never come across that. I said, okay, so what is that email address? She gave it to me, and I've got a back access in MailChimp because I'm a MailChimp partner. So I sent a request for that email address to give me access to the accounts. And the person gave me access, but it only gave me access to one account. And I said, that's only given me access to one account. So the others have got different email addresses. She said, no, it's definitely the same email address for all 5 accounts. I'm like thinking, she's confident about this. And I thought about it and I thought, it's impossible. Because when I sent that request, when it was accepted, if that email address controlled 5 accounts, I'd have had access to all 5 accounts immediately and not just one. So I said this to her, and I also said there'd be no way you can log in to 5 MailChimp accounts all at once. It would just, MailChimp just can't do that. I can't think of any software that would allow you multiple accounts using the same email address, because they always say to you, well, there's already an account with that email address. Please try another one. Or have you forgotten your password? And she went, okay, I don't think you're right, but I'll go and check. So she came back to me, she said, you're right, it's all 5 accounts have got a different email address. I bloody well knew that, but I was questioning myself. And this has happened a few times over the years as a virtual assistant. A client will say to you, it's this. And you think, I don't think it is. And you question your expertise. And you find out that the client's wrong. People are wrong, just like you'll be wrong about things. So remember, you're the expert. And this is another reason why you must only offer services that you're confident and competent in, so that you can answer these questions confidently and you can think, yeah, I don't think they're right here. And you can be confident with it. Otherwise, you go round in bloody circles thinking, I'm going mad. Honestly, the client isn't always right. I know that years gone by, it's the customer's always right. They're not. They're not. You're right. Now, there are going to be loads of other questions around confidence, and I would really love it if you could let me know in the comments or here on YouTube what questions you've got, and then I can cover them. I'll probably cover them in smaller videos over on TikTok, unless there are loads of questions, and then I'll do another confidence one for YouTube. But yeah, please do hit me up with any of your comments and concerns around starting a virtual assistant business, because I would love to alleviate your worries so that you can just get started and on this exciting road to virtual assistant. Now, please do go and find out more about me over on my website. It's catherinegladwyn.co.uk, and I look forward to interacting with you somewhere. Take care.